So we're here to look at what the stories are on the front and back page of the newspapers. But right now we're live. That is, if you have a lot of data and you keep watching a lot of the channels on YouTube. We have a channel on YouTube, fortunately. My Joy Online is the channel's name. We're streaming live on that very channel. But if you want to watch other videos there, you can also do the same. But in the meantime, let's look at what the stories are on the front page of which paper do we have to look at first? Okay, Chronicle. Let's be unconventional this morning. It has on the front page, Agrek is collapsing. World Bank warns Ghana. You have a picture there of immediate past Minister of Agriculture, Fifi Kwete. Now, let's read the story and let's just give you a gist of what it is. The share of Ghana's agricultural sector towards the country's gross domestic product, which in 1991 apparently was some 65%, has now reduced by almost 50% to 23% as the latest indicators we have by 2012. And this is according to the World Bank report. The situation has already engineered a shift in the economic growth of the country, which in the past was mainly dependent on agriculture onto the services sector. As a result, by 2011, agriculture was the smaller sector in the economy in terms of value addition, and although it is still the main sector of employment, representing some 43.2% of total employment. Okay, so we have at least about of working population of Ghanaians, 43% in agriculture, but in terms of the value of the sector in which they are working in, it's nothing home to write about. This was contained in the World Bank Group publication under the heading Poverty Reduction in Ghana, Progress and Challenges. And I guess this one will be under the subtopic Challenges. We're in great difficulty. Times are hard. Now, we have other stories on the front page of the Chronicle. It says, Nanado, Ghanaians worried over Gitmo too. And he's been in interactive sessions with the U.S. ambassador, and also MPP questions the electoral process. And that is on pages 2 as well as pages 3 of the Chronicle newspaper. The other paper we have before we look at the Daily Graphic, the Finder, it says more rot at NAT. NDC organizer allegedly defrauds businessman. And we have EC's controversial steering committee strike. 3 other bodies must withdraw, according to Martin Amido. And government teacher union negotiations over arrears fail again. And fortunately for us, we're going to have a lengthy discussion on this very subject on my banner. Amavi.
There's a very worrying story in the Daily Graphic newspaper. It's actually the banner headline in the paper: Occultism in Basic Schools, 7 and 9 investigations at Mary Efriye SDA JHS. This is JHSO. And then you find a picture of some people kneeling, and the little headline there says some of the students alleged to be involved in occultism performing certain rites. We'll get into the story itself on page 3, but also MP's call for bailouts for DKM customers, and Gregory Afoko to stand trial at High Court. This picture has not got his usual locks on, so you can see his face properly. Is on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. But let me get to page 3 on the occultism issue. It says that the authorities of the Mary Efriye SDA Basic School at Mamponting in the Kwabre East District of the Ashanti region are collaborating with the SD Education Unit to investigate a suspected case of occultism in the school. So far, 7 pupils, all males, have been apprehended for practicing the occult after school hours. They are said to have been consulting a Malam who directed them to perform some rituals for the occult practice, but the whereabouts of the Malam presently unknown. The pupils were caught performing some rituals and doing incantation intended to help them to get quick and free money overnight. While the leader of the 7, aged 13, is in primary 6, the rest, who are aged between 11 and 15, are all in junior high school 2. So that's JHS 2. They are meanwhile attending classes without any intimidation whatsoever while investigations continue. Sources at the school said the leader of the group, ever since he was transferred from a school at Hemai in his current school had been showing signs of occultism and trying to recruit more of his peers into the practice. His parents were not aware that he's into occult practice until this incident, although they had suspected him and resorted to prayers to deliver him from the occult stronghold on him. The story continues on and on and on. You can read details of it. They've got some briefing in addition to the story. You might want to read it, especially if your parents and your children are in school. Back page of the Daily Graphic. Ghana launches minerals policy. Let me touch a bit on the Gregory Afoko to stand trial at High Court issue, because we know that this issue has been ongoing for some time now. He's alleged to have murdered the chairman of the NPP in Roland, is it Upper West, Upper East? Upper East regional chairman of the NPP. Okay, sometime last year. So page 26 of that story, just a little bit of it for you. Says that the Accra District Courts yesterday committed Gregory Afoko, the man indicted for the murder of the Upper East Regional Chairman of the NPP, Adams Mahama, to stand trial at the High Court. He's therefore to appear before the High Court on March 23, 2016 for the commencement of the trial. Reading his judgment, the presiding magistrate, Mr. Koku Wolanyo, said based on the evidence presented by the prosecution, there was a compelling case for the accused to answer at the High Court. So trial certainly beginning. He's marching on to the High Court, and that case will be called on March 23, 2016. That's it for some of the headlines in the Daily Graphic newspaper.
And inside the Daily Graphic pages, the ECG decided, or has now decided, to embark on some public education for all of us, and so they have all these flyers.
Oh, so this is what came out of the paper.
Yeah, I love them. And these were inserted into the paper. It says, if we can get the cameras there, frequently asked questions on electricity. I hope I'm not doing advert for the Daily Graphic. And it's by Netco, etc. And, you know, Mama View also Abuaji, they use the high-end products in their house, air conditioners. Do you have the normal one? The wardrobe one? Do you have it? Or you use the one that they put on the wall? And apparently, just when you, in 40 minutes, this is how much you consume, 1,500 watts of electricity. Only in 40 minutes, oh. Only in 40 minutes, 1,500 watts. But you could use a normal energy-saving LED bulb, and for 125 hours, you only be using 8 watts. And that's what it means, okay? And then also we have a microwave. For those of you who use microwave, for which now the scientists keep telling us emits a lot of radiation into your food, etc. You just use it for 1 hour, and then 1,000 watts. 1 hour, but who uses it for 1 hour? No, they don't mean that you have used it consistently. If you use it for 10 days, but the summation of the hours or the time that you've used it is equivalent to 1 hour, it means you may have consumed 1,000 watts of your credit, of your units. And then there's some level of education here as well. We know LED television, you use it for 20 hours, it is 50 watts. But there's this other education that we all don't know about, okay? The fridges that we keep using, if you think that your fridge is old and you think that because you don't want to spend a lot more on your fridge or your air conditioner, etc., you continue using, what the education the ECJ is giving you is that it's not good. Go in for the latest, because the modern ones, they are better configured and also don't use a lot more units. And so for the whole year, if you have a deep freezer, the latest, with all these insignia indicators of environmentally approval on them, you would have been using 850 units annually. And then if you have the old ones, the ones that you use the door lockers to go and fix on, because they are quite old, you are using 1,000 units for the whole year. So that's some education for us. Now, if you use the old TV set, Pure Monko, Oxyboots, back axle, the old ones, you keep using them, please save and buy better one, LED TV, because 50 watts per you use for 4 hours. The old one, 160 watts, you use for 4 hours. That 32 inches that we have, please go buy LED. Even more so, if you know you don't have the latest, you only use 50 watts if you have the new ones instead of the old ones we have, the old plasma and those ones. You use 120 watts, so it's still better. Then the fluorescent tubes, if you have the new ones, you know we have the LED ones currently. If you use 8 hours of usage, you only have 10 watts, but the old ones is 39 watts of 8 hours. And then the fridge, the problems.
So this is basically telling people what type of electrical gadgets to use to save, in order to save energy.
Yes. And so whilst we're complaining about the electricity bills, etc., we get one more education. And then they have all the question and answers, the Q&As that you can get, frequently asked questions.
But this is just one means of communication. I think they should make use of other traditional means of communication. I think
what we can do also to help our audience is to make sure we also put this on air. So this slides. Is good. So we'll try and do some graphical slides for you.
The ECG must pay. Netco, they have to pay. Airtime is not free. We've done a little bit of it. They should do the rest. The Ghanaian Times newspaper front page, no deaths recorded at Debi in 4 years. It's a very interesting story. I'll share a bit of it with you. Also, police grabbed 69 bags of weed. Banner headline, DKM diverts 77 million Ghana cedis into personal investments. Comes with a picture of Finance Minister Seth Terkper on the front page. And Gregory Afoko charged with murder. Let's quickly check out the back page. Work on Pokwase Township roads to begin. Mining policy at last after 100 years of mining. But this interesting story about Debi, it's actually a community that the Ghanaian Times had reported on in the past. But this time it's saying that for more than 4 years, no one has died in Debi in the Kwando municipality of the Volta region. The community, which is located between the thick vegetated cover of the Fesi Mountain and the Volta Lake, has also not recorded any single case of cholera, diarrhea, malaria. And guess how many people live here? 380 adults and 150 children live in the community, and 30 of the 56 households had clean pit latrines. And the communal work, they do a lot of communal work as well. And I think the unique thing about the community is the fact that it is clean, it's open defecation free community as well, and they adhere to high hygienic practices, we're told. It's very interesting. Nobody has died in 4 years. Really, it's a little over 4 years. Nobody has died in that community. That's a healthy community. They say people live beyond 80 years. 80 years in their lifetime, and they remain socially active and strong enough to work on their farms. So these are some of the stories in the Ghanaian Times newspaper, last paper, and then I'll read some of your messages on WhatsApp. The Business and Financial Times front page, minerals and mining policy finally unveiled 17 years after it was first proposed. Also, no regulations for facilities management industry. It says that facilities management companies have had to rely on international best practices for the growing industry, as legislations for the operations are not locally standardized. DKM diverted 77 million Ghana cedis to subsidiary companies, appearing in almost all the newspapers this morning. The Royal Bank, this is back page, the Royal Bank renews $50 million KNUST award package, and Edum Dominasi gets some $50,000 water projects. These are some of the headlines, front and back page, the Business and Financial Times newspaper. On to WhatsApp now. You have another paper, Roland?
I have this one. The Daily Guide has a story. DKM blows 100 million Ghana cedis. MPs demand bailout. Monkey the work, baboon they chop. They'll blow their money and then we'll have to bail them out. Enjoyment.
Bailout on exactly what?
They want government to intervene and
oh, the DKM package issue.
Yes. Legalize we, Kofi Annan.
This has been trending since yesterday.
What's in a breach? I say, now why you see legalization of wheat.
No, but we have to take the things that he says, you know,
in context.
Exactly. Okay. And then I'm sure he's got some high and low points for it. That's what we have to analyze.
That's true. Teachers declare war over arrears. I don't know whether warriors, that's what they wear. They wear cowboy hats. And so the lead warrior, the Christian Adaipoku, who's the national president of NAT, leading the battalion.
Of Nagrats.
Nagrats.
No.
Leading the battalion to war against government. When are they doing the strike?
The deadline is 29th. If they don't get their monies by 29th, that's it.
I think they'll give them some. They'll broker some peace. What do you think?
Well, they are insisting that this is not the time to sit and talk. They want their money. You know what we want. Why do you want us to sit down with us?
You see, sometimes it's a big issue. The media wants coverage. Sometimes we like covering confusion.
Oh, your favorite VGMA?
No, we'll do that one. I want us to look for a video of Shatta Wale. So when we do it...
Really? Why would we want to do that?
If we get to, we'll review the Shatta Wale thing. So
we're not playing any Shatta Wale video. Let me read some messages on WhatsApp. This one from Zachary in Achimachiansi says, good morning, Roland.
Patrick, do we have the video? Let me know.
Health clinics is in the state of disgrace. Please, I want you to help tell the health authorities because we're dying. Only why in okay, this one says, good morning, Roland, Mama. In fact, the menace of armed robbery in society is getting out of hand and government silent, and yet they talk of improving the well-being of Ghanaians. We only talk about talk, but don't walk the talk. Isaka Adamu from Binduri is sending us that message. This one from Moses from Abo Sacred Hospital in the Volta region says, good morning, Mama V and Roland. You guys are looking great this morning. In fact, you're doing well. We appreciate that you watch us every morning and you contribute to our program. I learned you and Roland can speak ever very well. That's great of you, and I'm proud to be a Voltarian. It's from Frank Fianyo in Vobom in Keta.
Yes.
Is it Vobom? I'm not sure. Okay, this one says, Roland, Mama, I like your morning show. May God bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, it's Joe in Kumasi. Joe in Kumasi, thank you. Ghanaians are suffering under the presidency of the NDC President Mahama. Must walk the talk and stop building castles in the air.
Please, Benedict is waiting. We have to play Shatta Wale. This is you are doing something.
We're not doing Shatta Wale. It's not entertainment yet. A winning horse never knows what it is winning. It only runs due to the pain given by its rider. So whenever you are in pain, remember God wants you to win. Good morning, Miss and Mrs. Thanks for your good works from Love Mark at Dodi. Papa say, but you have to give the information. Oh.
News one is center spread of Daily Guide. I told you we would do this. Majority carries vote.
Throws out Shatta Wale.
VGMA throws out. But you reading
he actually presented, you know, his works for nomination. They received the works. I mean, that was done in grand style. And then now they said, Masa, you don't qualify to be nominated in any category.
He posted a Facebook page.
Yes.
Post.
Oh, yeah. Let me do that. Let me read what he said.
So now, let me just read this. It's a popular dance hall musician, Shatta Wale, has been disqualified from competing this year's edition of the Vodafone Ghana Music Awards, VGMA, and the board's the awards board announced at a press briefing on Tuesday. This is not fair in my estimation, but the VGMA board said though Shatta Wale picked and submitted his works to compete in this year's event, he did not complete the processes which will make his forms complete and eligible for consideration.
Also, Charles Ni Amamensa, your Shatta. He says, and he put this on Facebook yesterday. Why should I always apologize for the monster you have made me become when no one has ever apologized for making me this way? If you put me in a cage like an animal and feed me with fresh bloody meats for years, imagine what will happen if I break the cage and come out. I will be forced to live the bloody way you trained me. And this is one of the posts out of quite a number of it that he put on
okay. So that will lead us to Shatta Wale. We're taking a break. When we come back, we're going to have Benedict, but please, we're going to have an intermission with Shatta Wale's song.
Oh, are we?